There we go. Thanks, man.
Can you hear us now?
Sound should be good now.
Maybe?
Audio, audio, sound, sound. We can't hear you. Sound, sound, please. There's no audio.
Beer!
We're just gonna sit here quietly.
Is this... Oh.
It's still saying no sound, but it could be a delay. Fixed, yay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Guys, I've been having a little sip.
You having a little sippy sip?
I'm not on my A game.
This is-
I've never on my streaming A game. There's always something wrong.
This is Star Wars Explained After Dark.
All right, alrighty. Starkiller 100. Do I think Bendu is still alive? I don't know. I don't even know if he was ever alive. Like, I'm wondering if he was just a spirit the entire time. If he sixth sensed us. But, I guess when Thrawn shot him, I'm gonna guess that he is dead, but also one with the Force. What do you think?
I don't think he's dead. I think he just disappeared.
Like, it's very unclear what Bendu's powers are and are not, what he is. So, who knows? I'm sure we're going to see him again. But I guess part of me thinks he's one with the Force.
Could be.
But maybe he always was.
I mean, that could make sense because, like, do they have a reason to bring him back in season 4? I think we got everything.
I don't think we're going to see him again in Rebels.
Yeah, I think we got everything we needed from him, so...
Yeah, I think he's probably done in Rebels, but I'm sure we'll learn about him somewhere again. He'll probably pop up whenever they, like... Ooh, maybe Dr. Aphra will see, like, some history regarding him. That would be cool. But, yeah, Starkiller, I just don't know. Adrian Mays, Cody next season. That would be cool. Like,
Where is he supposed to be at this point?
he could be dead and gone. We don't know. In Legends, he went on to train stormtroopers, and he hated it. In canon, we just don't know. I think having him and Rex meet up is too good of an opportunity to pass up. So they should absolutely have that happen. I'd love to see Cody in season 4.
Mm-hmm.
NPS 2004 Gaming, do you think Bendu saw Thrawn's death? I do. I think he's hinting towards what Thrawn's fate is. What I don't know is what he meant. I have no idea. The cold arms embracing him. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I normally look to
Maybe-
Legends for stuff like that, and I have no clue.
Maybe they go to Hoth.
Just Wampa arms. He's being embraced by Wampa arms.
Well, originally...
Biggs.
Sorry, the dog is...
Biggs is eating the carpet. Biggs! Get over here.
Originally, we thought maybe that meant perhaps the Imperials might turn on Thrawn, because Thrawn is going to be... I'm predicting that he's going to be in season 4, like, obsessed with finding out more about Bendu and the Force and that kind of stuff, and obsessed with getting revenge, and the other Imperials are just gonna be like, whoa, dude. They might turn on him.
I do like that he would become obsessed with the Bendu, because that's something I imagine he's never run across.
What did he call it? Devilry? Jedi?
Yeah, what is this Jedi devilry? Or maybe demonry? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I might be mixing up my Lord of the Rings quotes. But I like the idea that he would become obsessed with the Bendu. I mentioned in my review today that in Legends he doesn't have all of that much experience with the Force, so it would make sense that it would intrigue him. I don't think I see the Empire turning on him. I think he'll be killed by some other means. It would be cool if somehow the Nogri came back, like the arms embracing him could be maybe instead of just one Nogri assassinating him, it's a bunch of them, something like that. I always try to go back to Legends for this stuff because, I mean, what else are we going to pull from? But at this point, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Ron Kelly's happy that Thrawn survived. I will say I am too. when they announced him a year ago, I was like, okay, he'll be a one season villain. They'll kill him off in season 3. And at the time, I was like, and they're going to do him justice throughout the whole season. And I don't feel like they did that. So I'm thrilled that he's still alive because I want them to give him more opportunities to continue to kick Rebel ass. He's not ready to die. So I'm very glad that he survived as well.
Yeah, because he didn't do a whole lot the whole season. Every episode, we were just waiting for him to do something.
He kept letting them get away. And, like, Constantine today was like, I'm tired of your games. And, I mean, Constantine, chill out. Just do what Thrawn says. But at the same time, I was tired of his games, too. Up until through Imperialize. That's when he became Thrawn for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Darth Vader asks, did Kanan take out the legs of an AT-AT too easily? I actually saw the Collider Jedi Council guys. Christian Harloff was laughing about that as well. I will say that the Rebels team has confirmed that those AT-ATs are a different model from the ones we see in Hoth. So I think they're a little less formidable, more easily taken down. And maybe they updated their design because they realized how easily they could just have their legs cut through.
Yeah, when we were watching the episode this morning and Kanan came through and just cut through one or both
2 legs, yeah.
2 legs, I was like, are you kidding me? What was Luke Skywalker doing the whole time?
I know, he did that whole thing. He flew up there with his cable. I think the updated design is in response to how easily Kanan took them out.
Yeah.
Bones McCoy, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Bones. Awesome. Yeah, Super Chat. That's a fairly new thing to live stream that we still don't really understand.
but Bones, thank you for trying it out.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Even though you might like Star Trek more than Star Wars, I forgive you.
I've seen a couple people ask about Ahsoka. I definitely think she's going to make an appearance in season 4, because if you guys watched Rebels Recon, Dave Filoni not only talks about how season 4 Rebels is kind of closing out all the stuff that he didn't get to do in the Clone Wars, but they also said we were going to see some familiar faces.
Beloved faces, he even said.
Familiar faces. So yeah, I think for sure she's going to show up. I don't know how, if she's dead or alive or what, but I'm sure we'll see her.
Yeah. I can't decide if they're going to finish her story in Rebels or like a comic or something. It's just, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I think it makes the most sense to finish it in Rebels just because Clone Wars Rebels, that's her thing. Mm-hmm. Just interesting that they left her out for an entire season.
Who will die in season 4?
Oh, hey, Star Wars Legacy. Who will die?
Well, we could talk about...
It depends on if it's going to be the last season or not.
I think it will be.
I kind of think it will be, too.
It has to be, because they're, like, really close to Rogue One.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be, but if they announce at Celebration that it's the last season, I won't be that surprised. Just because it's so close to Rogue One. And it's all like, I mean, they can go beyond Rogue One if they want to. I just don't think... I think thematically it makes sense if it ends with the Battle of Scarif.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect series finale, and it's the end of all of the individual rebel cells. Now they're a rebellion. So maybe it'll be the end of Star Wars Rebels, and they'll start a new series called Star Wars Rebellion. That would be cool. But I just think that's where it needs to end. So who would die? Kanan and Ezra. They need to go.
Yeah.
They need to go. And if they just get sent off to the unknown regions, I'll accept that, but to me it's kind of a cop-out. Like, the Jedi cannot be around when Luke is around, or else they'd be like, oh, you want some help with the Force? We got these 2 guys. But no one ever said that, so they cannot be around.
Yeah. I will say, as far as today's episode goes, I was thinking... I was afraid that either Kanan, Rex, or Zeb would die. And the reason I was afraid Kanan would die was because he told Ezra, you know, like, there's not a whole lot more that I can teach you. And and Ezra came back with like, oh, but teach me to be a better person. But just the whole episode, I was afraid that he was gonna get knocked off.
Yeah, they were really laying. I think The Walking Dead has made me expect anytime any two characters have like a heart to heart, it's like, oh, one of them's dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kanan and Ezra have this really nice moment at the beginning. It was like, well, I guess Kanan's no longer going to be in the show.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kanan is probably one of the best characters in the show. I think Callus is my favorite at the moment, but Kanan is. It would be a shame to give him up.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Game of Thrones can do it. What am I drinking, Holden Tennant? I'm drinking a local Atlanta beer called Drafty Kilt by Monday Night Brewing. It's delicious.
Someone asked about Kanan and Hera.
Like, are they Pink Love there? Are Kanan and Hera a couple? Are they space married?
Are they space married? I don't think so. But yeah, she did call him Love.
They're definitely together.
Yeah.
They, like, if you've read A New Dawn, and I mean, throughout the series, they have had these almost moments. There's a YouTube clip you can watch. I think it's called The Ghost in the Machine, or The Machine and the Ghost, because it's a play on The Ghost in the Machine. It's about Chopper, but they almost kiss in that, and it's more they're about to kiss and Chopper walks in on them. Like, they're a couple as far as I'm concerned. It's just that they don't make it very overt because it's on Disney XD.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zoom Zoom 103. They've been together since season 1. Before that, even.
Sorry, we're reading the chat and it's like going by really fast.
Why didn't Bo-Katan show up in the finale? Says Mavic. Yes, Katie Sackhoff confirmed that Bo-Katan, or that she would be returning. We're all assuming that she's going to voice Bo-Katan. They record these episodes so far in advance. Like, we were watching the Collider Jedi Council just a second ago, and Steven Stanton was talking about doing the voice for Obi-Wan in May of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, doing a test run of it, so.
But then they wound up using that test run, so it was almost a year before that episode came out. Katie Sackhoff said that she did her voice for Rebels September of this year. So by that guide, I would guess that we're going to see Bo-Katan very early in Season 4. Basically, they've been working on Season 4 for a very long time, at least 6 months. So when people were kind of worried about whether or not Rebels was going to get renewed, and they were like, man, they really announced Season 4 of Star Wars Rebels very late, it means nothing. It's just when they decided to announce it, because they've been working on Season 4 since at least September. But yeah, when she announced that, I was like, oh, well, Bo-Katan's going to be in Season 3, and I just didn't realize how far in advance they make these episodes.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do about the Mandalorian Civil War in Season 4, because they mentioned that, and then...
Good that you say that, because Akril asks, do you want to see the Mandalorian Civil War in Season 4?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys go watch Rebels Recon, at the very end, they give you like a little sneak peek of...
Thank you, Zach McChesney.
Oh, thanks, Zach. On Rebels Recon, they give you like a little sneak peek of some artwork, like concept art.
Oh, yeah.
Of what we're assuming is from the Mandalorian Civil War. It's basically just like
I kind of want to try to find that. I could throw it up.
It's like a bunch of helmets. You can look it up on your phone.
Well, no, I could probably throw it up on the stream if I can find it real fast. I bet it's on like the subreddit or something. Let me throw the chat over here.
Oh, okay. Now I'm looking over here.
Yeah. By the way, anyone using Super Chat, I mean, first of all, thank you, but you can also ask a question, and it will be very easy for us to read it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why they made Super Chat was so you could like donate money, but then your question gets like stuck on the top.
I found it already.
So you can. Oh, okay. I do want to see Vader in season 4, even if it's just a little bit of Vader.
All right, let me see if I can get this image in here. There we go. So this is the image that they threw up on Rebels Recon. Looks like Sabine's helmet on a jetpack. We got Finn Rao's helmet here. But it looks like Clan Ren helmets just littered about. I think really what they're just showing is the Mandalorian Civil War is in full swing, and we're definitely going to see it in season 4. So pretty cool, pretty exciting. I think we're going to get a lot of Mandalorian stuff. And I was thinking, watching Rebels Recon, like, in the original trilogy, they never talk about the Mandalorians. I'm wondering if we're going to see not only a Mandalorian Civil War, but, like, some bad stuff go down from the Empire. Like, are the Mandalorians going to get mostly wiped out?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to be a rare sight among the galaxy? Or is it just that we didn't hear about them in the original trilogy, which is also a possibility?
What do you think about Vader
Coming back?
showing up in season 4?
I kind of doubt it. I feel like he was in season 2 to deal with Ahsoka. Thank you, Matt Capshaw. I will come back to that in a second, but thank you very much.
Should we take this image down?
Yeah, sorry. I forgot I was just sitting there. Vader, I kind of doubt he'll be back. I think they're done with him just because he was there for Ahsoka, but it's totally possible. I would love it if he comes back. Matt Capshaw asked what my favorite member of the Ghost Crew is. I'm going to cheat a little bit and say that it's Callus, because he kind of is now.
That is... Okay, well, other than Callus...
Fine.
That's kind of cheating.
I mean, it's Chopper.
Yeah.
He always makes me laugh, but he's even kind of iffy. Let's like the main voice cast, probably Kanan.
Mm-hmm. I just love Chopper and AP5. Like their banter between each other is it's very reminiscent, obviously, of R2 and 3PO,
mm-hmm.
but in a much more like sassy, angry kind of just like. I don't care what happens. But...
Yeah, you love sassy droids. You loved that one from Clone Wars that was given Grievous sass.
Yeah.
Mudguts, thank you for your super chat. Do I think Boba Fett will appear in Rebels? I do. I kind of think that he is another one of the beloved faces that they were talking about. Here's why. In Season 7 of the Clone Wars, it was planned to have an arc all about Boba Fett and Cad Bane. Obviously, they never got to do that. So I think since they're trying to wrap up these storylines, like Dave Filoni said, I think they're probably going to do that with Boba Fett. I think we will see him and Cad Bane in Season 4, maybe. Now, I'm wishing I had put that in the predictions video that's coming out tomorrow, but it's a live stream exclusive. It's my Boba Fett prediction for Season 4.
Yeah.
I do think we'll see Boba Fett in Rebels.
I didn't think about that. Someone asked if maybe Cassian would be in Season 4. We both think that definitely we'll see some Rogue One characters in Season 4.
Knowing that they're going to go straight to Yavin 4, why not? I mean, they've been pushing the Rogue One Rebels connections really hard. So I think seeing Cassian and K2 would be a perfect thing to include.
I just want K2 to interact with AP5 and Chopper.
Yeah,
just
that'd be fun.
The three of them, I just want them to have a spinoff.
Glenn Smathers, thank you. What did Kanan mean by a future for them? Like learning more about Bendu's teachings, or is Snoke going to be more like that with light and dark side? What
did Kanan mean by a future for
That was
them?
like the last line.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they were more talking. I think that was supposed to kind of bookend things. The start of the episode was Kanan and Ezra talking about being better people. I think the end of the episode it was probably more a personal statement, in my opinion. Which, huh? I wonder if Kanan is thinking about like their future as Force users, and whether or not their place is with the rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, because
That's just something that popped into my head. But
the Bendu did say like maybe the Jedi need to be wiped out.
yeah, maybe I feel like the Jedi are going to start going this way of like being more balanced. It seems like the new content is really preaching the balanced way of thinking, and that's why I think Episode 8 is titled The Last Jedi. Like, maybe Luke is the last Jedi because Rey won't be a Jedi, she'll be something else.
Any thoughts on
so
Snoke?
so maybe any thoughts on Snoke? Is he gonna be like a gray Bendu? He seems pretty fully dark side to me. Interesting question though.
Yeah.
Goku
Okay.
Goku 8071 in season 4, could we get a red-haired dark side villain too? Are you talking about Mara Jade?
I don't think she's gonna be.
Unfortunately, I agree. I kind of think she'll be left by the wayside, as sad as I am to say that.
Yeah. I would happily make an appearance on the show as a dark side.
Like
person.
live action? You
Yeah.
just don't even fit in. You're just like live action person.
Yeah, just like green screen me in there with a red lightsaber. Done.
Go back up. I saw Wolfgar said, would you love to see Gilad Pelion in season 4? Yes. So far, I've thought that they would include Pelion in the Thrawn book, but now I can't remember the guy's name. In the excerpt they released, what was his name? It wasn't Pelion anyway, and they're describing like this new character that's basically going to be Pelion. And I was like, why didn't you just make that Pelion? I want Pelion back. He was like the best dude. He's a noble Imperial. And Wolf Yularen kind of played his part in Through Imperial Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the guy that he basically just stands there while Thrawn explains things to him. And he was introduced in the Thrawn trilogy, but then he stayed on and he like led the Empire, but he was like a good guy. He wasn't evil. So I would like to see him return. I always liked his character.
I saw Dantooine. Yeah.
Why no Dantooine?
I definitely was expecting them to go to Dantooine in season 3 at some point. But they didn't.
I mean, technically they did. They just didn't land on it.
Yeah.
I think we'll see it in season 4. I was expecting them to regroup at Dantooine. I wasn't really thinking season 4 would be the last season until today, because I was thinking, all right, now they're going to spend season 4 at Dantooine, and they'll probably spend season 5 at Yavin 4, and we'll wrap it up. But no, they're just skipping Dantooine. So now I'm like, oh, they're really just running towards Rogue One.
I would love an entire season on Yavin. I think that'd be awesome.
We're about to get it. So. We were going to get it either way, I think.
Yeah. How long will we have to wait for season 4? When
Probably about September.
Okay, so
Not too bad.
not too bad. X-Wings. Do we think they'll appear? Yes.
Yeah, Dave Filoni basically said that they would happen in Rebels Recon. Space Dock, if we go to Dantooine in Rebels, and there's a bombed out ancient Jedi enclave, I'm going to be extremely happy. That would be sick. You're right, man. Mudguts again.
Oh,
Thank you,
thanks.
Mudguts. Do I think Han could reappear? I doubt it. I think they're going to keep Han away from the rebellion in Rebels. I just don't see him,
I don't see how they could fit him in.
especially knowing how close we are to Scarif now. Like, he would be on Tatooine, he'd be with Jabba, he'd be smuggling. If they do, I don't think, like, if he shows up in the season 4 trailer, I'd probably kind of roll my eyes at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's already getting a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I think Han is probably not going to appear in Rebels. It's my guess.
A couple of more people have asked if we think 4 will be the last season. I think it will be, but you were...
I kind of think it will too. Up until today, I thought it'd probably go 5 seasons. But now that they're going straight to Yavin, kind of think it's might be the last one.
Yeah.
At least I won't be surprised if they say that at Celebration.
I think we're going to see a lot of deaths in season 4. A lot of familiar faces, but a lot of tragedy at the same time. And then I hope that the finale is the Battle of Scarif. But also what happens to Kanan and Ezra. Because like you said, they can't be around.
Yeah. They die.
How do they die?
They blow up. I don't know.
They just blow up.
Maybe they try to save Jyn and Cassian. And they... I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ways to kill them off.
Biggs in season 4.
Please!
Someone, please just beg Dave Filoni.
I'll do it.
For some
I'll
Biggs,
beg him.
Biggs
I write him letters every day. Do you think Boba Fett, Dengar Bossk, etc. will appear in season 4? I don't think all of them will. Like I said earlier, I do think Boba Fett will. All of them, kind of doubt it. Mm-hmm. Checkers, is Rex on Endor? I kind of think he might be, only because Dave Filoni said that he wanted that.
I think he just said he liked that theory.
No, it was his theory.
Oh.
He's the one that made the theory. So, if a Star Wars creator is making theories, that doesn't necessarily mean it's true, but I think that kind of means that Rex might be safe. But at the same time, he would be so old. Mm-hmm. Especially with the whole clone aging thing.
Ray Sloan?
What about her?
Which, just question marks.
Oh.
Could she fit into season 4 at all?
She could. I would love to see her. She is kind of the Pelion of the new canon right now. Like, she is someone I would consider to be an honorable Imperial. Oh, do I think Antok Merrick or Blue Squadron will reappear? CT5597 Jesse. I would love that. Any member of Mustache Squadron is welcome in my book.
People keep asking about Darth Vader. Yeah, I keep thinking maybe Thrawn is going to try to reach out to someone. Maybe we'll see another Inquisitor, or maybe he reaches out to Vader to ask him about Force stuff, the Bendu, because I think that really threw him off of his game. Like, you don't see Thrawn questioning anything until he sees this giant storm that's attacking them, and he's like totally blown off course. So I think he's gonna be reaching out to people to try to figure out more about Force sensitive things.
That's not a bad theory. Like, why Thrawn would reach out to someone with Force sensitivity. I like that. You're making me think. Proud of you. Sallow, thank you for your super chat.
Thanks, Sallow.
Krennic on season 4. I think it's possible. I mean, if we're gonna say Cassian and K2 can show up, I think Krennic can show up as well. We've seen Death Troopers, so why not? I think Ben Mendelsohn would be up for reprising his role. I think that would be super cool.
Yeah.
Knowing that we're building towards the Battle of Scarif, I think it would be nice to see the Death Star at some point from the Empire's side. I would love to see more Krennic. I really do like Krennic as a villain just because of how hipster he is and like how self-important he is. So I would love to see him again. Holy cow. Zach McChesney, thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
What am I expecting from the Thrawn book? And Zach Berkey, thank you. I'm gonna get to you in a second as well. What am I expecting from the Thrawn book? I just reread Outbound Flight, which it's so good. If you haven't read Outbound Flight and you're just wanting more Thrawn in between now and April 11th, read Outbound Flight. I wanted to prep to see what from his history they brought back into canon, because the Thrawn book is supposed to cover about that time, like about Clone Wars era, until season 3 of Rebels, and how he rose in the ranks. From the excerpts that they've released, I think they're going to be canonizing a lot of his legend stuff. But what I want is a more adult version of the Thrawn we got in Rebels. Like, the Rebels version, I would say, is adequate, but I mentioned this in my review today. The dots that he connected today were just kind of watered down. It's like, okay, he got a trajectory, and he got a signal, and he made the lines intersect, and he drew a circle there. Like, I could have done that. But when I read Outbound Flight, he was making deductions based off of information that I read and that I couldn't have seen coming. But when he explained it to me, I was like, well, you're right, as if he were explaining it to me. But I was like, he nailed it. He's so smart. Yeah. So I'm just glad to have Thrawn back in Timothy Zahn's hands. I'm very excited about that.
They talk about him a little bit, just the character of Thrawn in Rebels Recon, and I liked when they said that his character is like someone playing chess from both sides. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really interesting. A really interesting way to conceptualize his character.
He's like a borderline superhero in the books. I love him. Zach Berkey, could Thrawn's encounter with the Bendu motivate him to study the Force and discover the Salamiri?
That I didn't think about, but...
I will say, I mean, yes, I think it could motivate him to discover, or like, investigate the Force further. I like your thought. I think you guys are probably on the money, because when he comes across something he doesn't understand, yeah, he's probably going to go hard into it. The Salamiri, though, are not going to appear ever. Dave Filoni basically said that. There was a piece of artwork that Thrawn has. It's like two lizards, mm-hmm. and when he is standing in front of it, it looks like they're on his shoulders. That was meant to be a nod to the Salamiri, but George Lucas never liked the idea of any beings that could negate the Force or that lived outside of the Force, so the Salamiri are kind of out. And for the same reason, if the Yuuzhan Vong ever appear in canon, which they almost did in Season 7, they would not, and they said that iteration of the Vong would not have existed outside of the Force, so the Force wouldn't have cut them off as happened in Legends. So Salamiri probably never going to happen unless it's just a normal, like, yellow lizard.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mudguts again, ATSTs in Season 4. I was thinking about that today. It was like, they keep using the ATDPs.
Yeah.
We're 2 years away from Rogue One, where we know they're using ATSTs. When are the ATSTs going to show up? The ATDPs don't seem to do a whole lot.
No.
They only got the one little gun. Like
they looked pretty pathetic.
They do need to upgrade. I agree.
But yeah, I think they'll definitely be in Season 4 because they're in Rogue One.
I think they need to show up at some point.
Vader emotions / flashbacks at all. I don't like I said, if we see Vader, I don't think we're gonna see him that closely. Does that make sense? Like, if we see Vader, it's gonna be more of like Thrawn asking him questions about the Force, or just like something really off topic. I don't think we'll see anything from Vader's point of view.
Yeah. I just don't think we're going to see Vader again in Rebels. And if we do, I don't want him to get, like, all emotional. I think the Legends made him a little bit too much of a relatable person. Like, they went too much into his psyche and stuff and made him a sad sack. They did. I would like for them to, and so far the new canon has done this. They've made him a murder machine. Like, yeah. That's what I want from him.
He needs to be like a horror movie villain.
Uh-huh. And Rogue One did that. The Darth Vader comic did that. I think, like, Lords of the Sith was a good transition period for that. I think the new Darth Vader comic is gonna be even more of a transition, but I kind of doubt we're gonna see him in Rebels again. Josh Walsh, thank you, Josh.
Oh, thanks, Josh.
Who would you like to see most in season 4 of Rebels? Ahsoka, Cad Bane, Cody, or Barriss Offee? I think we're probably going to see at least 3 of those 4.
Definitely Ahsoka for me.
I think my answer would be Cody. I really want to see Cody and Rex square off. And maybe not even fight so much, but just be like, dude, because Rex will feel that way about Cody doing Order 66, even though it wasn't exactly his fault. Cody's going to feel that way towards Rex. Like, they're both going to have a valid point of view. I really want to see them talk that out.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten Ahsoka. Cad Bane, I do think we're going to see him. Barriss Offee, I do want to see her as well. Like, Dave Filoni has said her story's not over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why she wasn't the seventh sister. Like, why not? It was the same species.
Yeah.
Why not? It would have made that confrontation with her and Ahsoka even better. But I want to see Rex and Cody.
Not to discredit the seventh sister, because
I would never say anything
Sarah
bad about
Michelle
Sarah
Gellar
Michelle Gellar.
did a fantastic job.
I would never say anything bad about Buffy.
We signed up for a photo op at Star Wars Celebration, which we're going to be at, by the way, to meet Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr., and I'm just going to, like, fangirl and probably cry.
I think ugly cry is the
Yeah.
words you used.
I'm going to ugly cry, and that's going to be the forever picture. The one time that I get to meet Sarah Michelle Gellar, I'm going to just be ugly crying.
I'm going to cherish that.
Anyways. She'll be like, did you come for Star Wars or to meet me?
We got our tickets before we knew she was coming.
Yes,
it's just
that's true.
icing on the cake.
Yeah. Someone asked if we would see the Emperor earlier. And maybe like on...
We have seen... Well, he was on a hologram.
That's what yeah.
So, he was in season 1? 2? There was like a deleted scene. It was a really weird thing. I'm pretty sure it was... No, Darth Vader was added back to season 1. But the Emperor has been voiced and made an appearance in Rebels. So, he could show up again. But part of me thinks he might not, just because, like, it's the story of mostly the non-force sensitive rebellion. It's not so much the story of the light side and the dark side. That's the Skywalker saga. So I kind of think we're going to stick more towards just military might.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hope. Like, I just want to see the Empire be more competent, like they were today. Except for Constantine, but he's dead. So maybe from now on, the Empire can, like, get their stuff together and work things out.
Talk about...
Mystified 305, did I know that Sato would ram the interdictor?
Yeah, just talk about his decision and that awesome ship. Alex's first words when he did that, they were, no, not that awesome ship.
I was expecting Sato to die. He was, like, unfortunately the perfect candidate. He was, like, around just enough, and he needed to be removed, so to speak, so that Hera could rise to his position. So I was pretty sure Sato wasn't going to make it. I was more surprised that they destroyed the carrier that they worked so hard to get in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, yeah, right when he was, like, watching the ships explode and it kind of went in close on his face, I was like, well, Sato's going to kill himself. But he did it in a glorious way.
And that's the third time we will have seen / read that technique, right? They did it in Rogue One with the hammerhead.
I mean, they do it all the time.
They do it
Green Leader did it at the Battle of Endor.
They do it in Empire's End, apparently.
Yeah, you're right. Capital ship crashes into a Star Destroyer. Yeah, it happens a lot. The rebels, when they're pushed against the ropes, they're gonna just crash into you. So
Yeah.
but I liked Sato, but it was like the perfect mix between people will be sad to see him go, but it's also not like we lost Zeb.
Mm-hmm.
So Ron Kelly, Prince Shizor in season 4. I doubt it. I I do like that Black Sun is run by Felines, but and they're like based off of Shizor. Got my Prince Shizor action figure over there, but I just
Is that the guy that I said looked like
Yeah.
he was from Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, Molly thought he was a Namekian. I just kind of doubt they're gonna bring Shizor or Shadows of the Empire at all into it. I would love to see Shizor again, but I just doubt he'll be in Rebels. I don't think they're gonna have time to bring someone like him in.
He's
There
got
he
a
is.
pretty awesome cape. I mean,
Yeah, you can take the cape off. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's been a long time since I did a. I mean, my action figures are mostly for display now, but he's got like. He's ripped. He does look like Piccolo.
that's who it was that I was thinking of.
Yeah. This dude can throw down. Look at that battle armor. It's sick. Zach McChesney has one more question before he goes to sleep. It's 3 a.m. there. Well, thank you for hanging out, Zach, and thank you for the super chats. Very appreciated. What Clone Wars character would you like to see in Rebels? I've said Cody already, so let's think of someone else. We already talked about Barriss. Let's think about someone else. We talked about Cad Bane. Let's think about someone else. Those are my big ones.
Leia?
She's not really a Clone Wars character. And she
yeah,
definitely isn't because she wasn't born by that point. I wouldn't mind seeing more Bail. He's not been around very often lately.
Mm-hmm.
Fives is dead. You know what? Echo. Let's go with Echo. I want to see what happened to that guy because he got messed up. But he came back and I liked him, and I always liked Domino Squad, so I would love to see Echo again.
They said in Rebels Recon that we would get more Mon Mothma and more Saw Gerrera and more of their interaction, which I'm really excited about because there was a couple of lines in Rogue One that Mon Mothma said about Saw Gerrera, and it was basically setting us up to hear more about their interactions with each other and why she is like staying away from him.
Yeah, I would love to see more of that. Zach Berkey, thank you.
Thank you, Zach.
Due to the Alliance receiving a beating at the hands of Thrawn, do you see the Alliance and the characters relying on smugglers like Dash Rendar often? Going back to... Hey, do you remember the guy you said who looked like Kyle Katarn?
Yeah.
Grab him, please.
I'm just the toy getter now.
Sorry. I think I already put this video out, and I did a collaboration with Dash Star talking about whether or not I thought Dash Rendar would ever return to canon.
He looks like he has a mullet.
Oh, Dash Rendar does have a mullet.
He does?
Yes.
What's on his back?
That's like there's a gun that's supposed to be attached to this. It's been lost to time.
Lost to time.
I think there's a possibility for Dash to return, but it would be like Thrawn, where the timeline would be shifted. It wouldn't be in a Shadows of the Empire style story. I could see him showing up in like the Dr. Aphra comic, but I don't think he'll pop into Rebels. Even though like Rebels does seem to be the playground where you can just like throw something from Legends in. If we're assuming, and by we I mean just like the two of us, if we're saying that season 4 is going to be the last season potentially, I just don't think they have enough time to introduce someone like Dash. I do think there's a potential return for him, but it sounds like they've written Shadows of the Empire like out of the history. They've put a couple stories in its place during that same time, and they don't talk about any of that Shadows of the Empire stuff, so I think it's probably out for good.
Do you think we'll get U-Wings in Rebels?
Daniel S. U-Wings?
Maybe.
I think so. If they're going to be at Yavin,
Yeah.
they have U-Wings there. So yeah, I think we probably will.
I don't think they're gonna, like, make a big deal about it, though.
Yeah, they'll probably just be sitting around. To talk about making a big deal, Dave Filoni has said that he wants to make the introduction of the X-Wings a big deal. So I do think we will be seeing them in Season 4. And I think it'll be a major scene.
Yeah.
Ex-Spartacus, did I wish Thrawn did the Did I wish Thrawn did the Thrawn pincer?
Yeah.
Something about that sounds weird.
Did
the
you?
way I read that. Do I wish Thrawn
I-
did the prawn?
Do you wish
the
he
prawn
had-
pincer?
Do you wish he had done the Thrawn pincer, which is a battle tactic,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, it is. And I really thought that battle was going to mirror Legends a lot more. I thought it was going to be kind of a combination of his assault on Coruscant and the Battle of Bilbringi. We knew interdictors were going to be there, so I thought he was going to send the interdictors in first and then have them pull the Star Destroyers out of light speed, like right on top of the planet. We also knew from the trailer that the Mandalorians were going to come in and help out. I thought they were going to come in and be a surprise, and they would kind of take the place of the smuggler army from the Thrawn trilogy. None of that really happened. So yeah, I kind of would have liked to see a little more of the classic Thrawn tactics that we saw in Legends being used, but that's alright that we didn't.
Biggs is just
Yeah,
pacing
Biggs just
around.
pacing around. Charlie Trump at 96 asks, does Callus equal Crix Medine? I mean, kind of, but we still have Crix. He's in the canon. Although we don't know that he was an Imperial defector, so it could be. It could be that Callus is kind of taking his place in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we'll see Admiral Akbar,
I think we might.
the king? Wait, who's the king of the Mon Calamari?
Oh, Lee Char.
Oh, okay.
Or no, wait. Isn't it Lee Char?
You're supposed to be explaining Star
You're right.
Wars.
I'm Star Wars Explained, not Star Wars Kinda Know It.
That's something.
I'm pretty sure it's Prince Lee Char who became the king. I don't know. We could. I think it would be very possible we would see Radis or Akbar. I don't know about the king.
Do you think we'll see former separatists join the rebellion?
I mean, we got Kalani, kind of. The droid general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, the Geonosians are pretty much wiped out. I would prefer we don't revisit the Nemoidians, honestly. Stuff like the Techno Union and the mining guilds, like, they're all under the umbrella of the Empire, so I kind of don't think so. I think the rebellion is going to be kind of what we see now and what we saw in the original trilogy. It'll be mostly humans and the occasional alien species.
Yep.
Thank you, Josh Walsh. I needed that. Correct, Lee Char.
That was gonna bother you.
It was bothering me.
Whenever our friends ask Alex something Star Wars related and he doesn't know, they'll say like, "Come on, man, you're not
That happened one
Star
time.
Wars kinda know it. You're Star Wars Explained."
It happened one time. And Matt Thornton says Pablo Hidalgo is the Jedi Master and I am to be his Padawan. I would accept that.
Yeah, we've mentioned that before. He would definitely take that job.
Pablo said now that he's not going to tweet about Star Wars questions anymore, which I'm sad about. And then I was also like, are people going to start tweeting me?
Are you up for the challenge?
I don't know. He gets a lot of tweets. Space Doc says, pretty sure Iron Squadron would have been rotated back to Yavin or Dantooine. I hope they don't come back.
Yeah, everybody was really hating on Iron Squadron.
It's a shame. I don't want to because I know they're like analogs for Andy Gutierrez and Matt Martin, um, and the other guy in Rebels Recon, the camera guy, but I just did not like that episode at all.
Yeah, it was just weak. But I miss Darth Maul.
Yeah, let's talk about Darth Maul because when they announced that he would return years ago, I was like, "Are you serious?" Dude was cut in half, but I stuck with it. And his Clone Wars episodes are probably the best episodes of the series, in my opinion. So I accepted his return, and I liked his end. I was sad to see him go after all of that drama with him coming back.
But every time I see more from the episode Twin Sons, I respect it more and more. Like a lot of people said it was slow and didn't live up to the expectations, but I thought the way that it ended was perfect. I mean, you got these two great fighters. Granted, they're like old men, but it's like you have two great fighters. That fight shouldn't be very long, and it wasn't.
But I like the way they explained it, that if you're a good sword fighter, the fight shouldn't take very long at all.
Yeah. And Maul used the same technique that he used on Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan caught on to that pretty quick and just put it into it. But then just like him holding him in his arms was so sad.
It was very nice. Brick Age Studios, would I like to see Imbo in season 4? I wouldn't mind it. I kind of doubt it, but I mean he's made an appearance in the latest Aftermath book, which is cool. So he's still around. It's very possible that he could. I wouldn't mind having, like, we haven't seen much from the bounty hunters at all since the Clone Wars, so I wouldn't mind seeing him in Rebels. Biggs, you are killing me.
Hey, thanks.
Come here, Biggs. People have been asking about you, so.
Oh.
There he is. Oh, careful, Biggs.
Here's Biggs.
Good boy.
Oh. Here's Biggs. Say hi. Oh, what's going on, guys?
Would I like to see the Zahn Consortium in Rebels or Canon, hint hint, play Empire at War? I will play Empire at War eventually. It won't be my next lore play series, I'm sorry. The next one is going to be Knights of the Old Republic. It was the one most highly voted on Twitter. It just barely beat out The Force Unleashed, so the next lore play series will be KOTOR. And I already started filming it. I think I'm about 4 or 5 episodes in, but Friday will be the first one.
There you go.
Biggs, they say you're so cute. Hey, you just hang out there in the corner. Stop prancing around the house. Doggo.
Is he a doggo or is he a pupper?
He's a doggo.
He's a
He's no longer a pupper by far.
I think he's a pupper.
He's an 11-year-old pupper. Puppy. Will Revan appear in season 4, William Aguilar? Really doubt it. Wouldn't get your hopes up on that one.
Yeah, no.
If he ever comes back, it's gonna be like in a comic. I'm really hoping Aphra kind of explores that. If you're not reading the Aphra comic, it's wonderful. I was shocked at how much I loved it, but I think they're just gonna use her to explore all of the ancient stuff and in a really fun way. And I mean, I happen to be obsessed with Indiana Jones on top of Star Wars, so that's probably why I love that so much. Francis Volkmuth, do I think there will be a Caleb Doom flashback? I doubt it. They haven't really done flashbacks in Rebels, and they've told his story in the Kanan comic, which was also excellent, and in A New Dawn, the book, which was good. Wasn't my favorite, but it was good. If you want a Caleb Doom flashback, read the Kanan comic. It's only 12 issues, and it was really good. I miss Jasmine. Casimir. Who's Jasmine?
I don't know.
Casimir, I mean.
It's late.
I just said a...
It's not that late.
Just said a name.
Oh yeah, do you think... What's Obi-Wan gonna do in season 4, if anything?
I don't think we're gonna see him again. I wouldn't mind seeing him again at all. I'd love to see Steven Stanton reprise Obi-Wan, but I think that was just a one-time thing we got. Just like a little update on Obi-Wan and Luke. And a conclusion to Thrawn's... it's a Maul's story. What was my favorite episode this season, Akril? It was Through Imperial Eyes. I loved the cat and mouse game between Thrawn and Kallus, even though Kallus lost. I thought he did an exemplary job. I love stuff like that, and I love stories about good guys going bad and bad guys going good. I just love when people switch allegiances. So seeing Kallus do his best to keep his head above water, that was thrilling to me. And it was probably my favorite depiction of Thrawn this entire series. Today's episode was very good. The attack, I felt, was very Thrawn. I'm glad that he achieved victory, albeit it wasn't like a final one. The way he deduced who Kallus was and that Kallus was the traitor, and he had Wolf Yularen to be his like Captain Pelion, that felt so Thrawn to me. I just had like a flash of like, that's so Raven, but that's so Thrawn.
So Thrawn.
That was just the best depiction of Thrawn we've had all season, and I hope that season 4 provides more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Perkins, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Connor.
Have you heard the rumors about the Pablo Hidalgo seminar? I have not. If so, what are your thoughts? There's a story on Star Wars News Network.
A seminar?
Is that going to be a celebration? All right, well, hold on. Move the chat for a second. See what we can find.
Is Krennic short or is Tarkin tall? I'm pretty sure Tarkin is tall. Because the guy that they got to play him in Rogue One, I remember he was pretty tall. What's his name? Guy Henry?
Yeah, I think Krennic's probably short because it would even just fit with his character and trying to like puff himself up. Like, I'm Krennic, I wear a cape.
Kanan turning to the dark side. I don't think Kanan would. Ezra, they played around with Ezra and the dark side and the Sith holocron and all that in season 3, but then it kind of faded away. But I think they will probably revisit that in some way because Ezra's still got a lot to learn about the Force, and I think he still has the potential of, dabbling in some dark side stuff.
I don't think Kanan's ever going to go to the dark side. I think he is too far along the light. And by light, I mean I think he's found balance. And I think he's happy where he's at. I don't think he's going to go over to the dark. Alright, I found what you were talking about. That seminar. It's a lot to read right now while I'm trying to live chat, but I'm going to keep this up and I'll look into it later. But no, I haven't heard of this.
It's interesting, though.
Hayes and Basque, thank you so much.
Wait, is there another one?
Wait, no.
Oh no, that was never mind.
Hayes and Basques, would you like to see them do an Old Republic TV show after Rebels ends? I mean, they don't have to wait till Rebels ends. Yes, I would love to see an Old Republic TV show. I mean, people have been talking about a Netflix show and doing petitions and all that, and I would absolutely love to see a Netflix version of the Old Republic. I think the maturity level that they could bring to Netflix if they did something along the same lines as Daredevil, that level of maturity where it's not quite R-rated, but I would say it's a little beyond PG-13. Like, maybe it is R-rated. It's probably R-rated.
It's a lot of violence.
The Kingpin cut that dude's head off with a car door. It's R-rated.
It was off screen.
Yeah. Yeah, it was implied. It was very violent. But something kind of like that, even a PG-13 version, just a dark, the Old Republic show. I mean, I want to see Darth Bane's story told. That's what I want. And Netflix would be perfect for that.
I think we're probably going to wrap it up here pretty soon. You already talked about your favorite episode. Least favorite episode was probably
Iron Squadron, by far.
Squadron.
I also did not like the one Kothu job. And it was like, it's kind of good and bad that they were back to back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let's get them out of the way, but also 2 weeks in a row, we're just like, come on. When Kothu wasn't as bad, at least there were the Dark Trooper type droids, which was kind of fun for me, considering how much I love Dark Forces, but they also were so weak that as Morrigan took down a Dark Trooper, no, he didn't. Figment of your imagination. Biggs return in season 4? I can only hope. We can all dream. Come on, Biggs.
The big shrine back here. So, one of these things is going to get signed by Garrick Hagan at Celebration.
I don't know what. The Coopinator, favorite canon comic book. Right now, I'm super obsessed with Dr. Aphra, like I talked about. I really liked the Darth Vader comic. Like, I don't know if I can pick a favorite. It's like whichever one I read most recently, I'm all about it. It's easier for me to pick out the ones I didn't like.
You said you liked the Lando one.
Yeah, that's my go-to favorite. You're right. It stinks that it's over. It was only 5 issues, but they were a great 5 issues. The art was good. The story was wonderful. Learning about Lobot was like the highlight of my comic reading experience. It was so good. So yeah, I'll go Lando. Mystified 305, should Kallus have lived or died? I agree with Christian Harloff. I think he got off too easy. I think he escaped too easy. But I'm glad he's around. I want to see his story continue, so I'm happy he's still alive. Milan Jackson, take Biggs to Celebration. Nah, he's going to stay with my parents. We didn't get a hotel that allows dogs. We didn't really check, but...
Also, he just doesn't like traveling.
All he does is lie around and pee.
He's like, what?
Pees all over our house.
You talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you. You did it earlier today. You know what you did.
Alright, well, I think we've streamed for an hour.
Yeah. I've been
Alex
talking about Star Wars all day.
I mean,
no regrets, but
that's our jobs now.
I think I need to play Breath of the Wild. Play a little Zelda.
You need a little Zelda time.
I need to go save the princess.
Alex needs his Zelda time now.
Thank you guys for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for trying this out. We normally are playing a game or something when we live stream, so this was a little different. Had a Biggs cameo. Yeah, it was just us gabbing like gals. But yeah, anybody who's going to Celebration, feel free, if you recognize us, come say hi.
Please don't feel like you're bothering us. If you see us, come say hi. We'll be thrilled to talk to you.
Yeah. And we're going to try to get into the big panels. We'll see how that goes, but we're definitely going to be putting out a ton of content that weekend. So stay tuned for all that stuff. And we're going to have a Rogue One video coming up soon because the DVD comes out April 4th?
Yes.
I think. So we're going to have a video coming out soon about Rogue One and lots of little Easter eggs and things you might have missed type deal. So
Hopefully.
yeah.
Yay! Live stream.
Boom.
We did it, Biggs. We did it, kid.
All right, thanks guys.
Yeah, we'll try to do this again soon.
Bye.
Bye.